good afternoon or morning. This is a little snippet of a practice for you to do on your working from home breaks. It's a really good opportunity for you to get moving. You don't have to have a yoga mat, but if you've got one, that's great. Just a space in your room. It's an opportunity for you just to get out of a work chair. If you can't leave to go out for a walk, then it's kind of 10 minutes of time for you to just move some of the energy, stretch out through your wrists and your shoulders, get your hip flexors open, and hopefully feeling a little bit more energized going into the rest of your day. You can repeat this video as well, so if it's not quite long enough for you, if you've got a bit longer and you'd like to practice, just pop it on repeat and go again all the way from the top. We're going to start on our hands and knees working into our wrists, so we're going to come with knees underneath our hips and our hands underneath our shoulders, but maybe slightly further forward. Fingers are pointing towards you, so towards your knees. And then as you come into this, you're going to find this is really quite intense on the wrist for most people. For some people, it doesn't feel intense at all. And just have a moment of rocking, maybe forwards and backwards. If this feels like a lot on the wrists, you can move the hands closer to your knees. If you feel like you've got a little bit more to give, you can bring them further away. Just very slowly rocking forwards and backwards. What you're not doing is gripping onto the mat with your fingers. And you're not rushing this. You're not trying to sit the hips all the way back to the heels. This is a slow moving moment in this practice. And as you move and breathe, you might find that one side is slightly more restricted than the other. And slowly starting to release the hands, bring them into kind of their more natural, neutral position for a moment. Allow the blood flow to move back in. And then turn the backs of the hands down to the mat, the fingers point towards each other. And just gently sway side to side. So what you're not doing is putting loads of your body weight into your hands in this position because your wrists are going to be quite compromised. So just want you to take a little bit of weight there, more weight probably back into your knees. And you can always tuck the toes under for support. And just move gently, swaying left to right, side to side. Again, you might notice that one hand has a little bit more ease in it than the other. And then slowing down that movement, coming to stillness. Coming to sit back onto the heels if the toes are tucked, that's fine. And just give the hands a little bit of a shake. Walk the hands all the way forwards. Plant the palms flat to the floor. Toes tuck if they're not already. And press your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. And take a moment here to focus into the shoulders in this down dog. So rather than really focusing on pushing the heels to the earth, try and draw your chest through between the tops of the arms and your head and heart towards your thighs. So get a lovely deep stretch through the shoulders and the upper back. Let your head hang, let it be heavy, so the neck gets to stretch out as well. And this will hopefully straight away leave you feeling quite kind of awake and open in the body. This position is quite invigorating, just being kind of head below hips. And just take a few deep energizing breaths in and out through the nose, and then if you want to, you can join me in taking a big inhale through the nose and then letting it go through the lips that are lightly pressed together. So. And you can do that a couple of times. So let the lips lightly press together and flutter them together as you exhale through them. And then slowly you're going to set your feet all the way to your hands at the top edge of your mat or towards your hands if you're on the floor. And let the feet rest underneath your hips and just sway. Let your body be heavy and hang. And just move from side to side. Left to right, and your back will love this decompressing. After being sat for multiple hours on end at a desk, it will really enjoy this opportunity to just let go and to de-stress. Maybe take a few little bounces with the upper body, just allowing yourself to really let go. And then with that same heaviness, find stillness. Soften your knees and start to uncurl the spine, stacking each vertebrae one at a time on top of each other. And when you get to the top, roll your shoulders up, back and down. Do that again another time, so you've got this really lovely opening. And then interlace your hands back behind you. Push your knuckles down and away so the heart space comes open and forwards. And if your tailbone starts to kick back, just tuck it under so you don't kind of hyperextend through the lower back. As you squeeze the bum and tuck the tailbone, the heart space open. Start to then slowly hinge from your hips. Forward fold and go as far forward as you can. Now, remind yourself that you don't have to have the hands interlaced. Through any of these little short practices that we do together, you're welcome to hold something in between the hands so you've got a little bit more space for the shoulders to move into. Take one more big breath in. And again, you can exhale any way you like, through the mouth, through the nose, whatever feels good for you. And then from here, slowly start to unravel your spine, stacking the vertebrae, coming all the way back up to the top. Release your hands, bring them up above your head and hold on to your left wrist with your right hand. Draw it up to the sky and lean over to the right side so your waist gets a stretch. Move back through the center, do the same but on the other side. So grab the right wrist with left hand, lean to the left. And then as you come back to the center, take a big breath in. Reach your hands high. And then as you exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. We're going to do that again. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms high. Maybe come up onto your tippy toes. And then exhale, heels down and fold all the way back down. One more time, sweep the arms up, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, fold and let yourself go. This time as you inhale, look up halfway. And as you exhale, step straight back into downward facing dog. Leave your left foot where it is. Inhale, rise your right heel up to the sky as high as you can. And as you bring your right heel high, start to circle through the ankle. A few times in one direction. And then go back the other way, wake up the feet. And then stepping the foot through between the thumbs the next time you breathe in. Lower your back knee, release your back toes. And start to sweep your arms up to the sky. So 2 actions in the hips here. You're dropping them towards the floor and tucking the tailbone under. So you've got this big stretch. Take your left wrist with your right hand, draw up to the sky and lean over to the right. So you get this lovely deep stretch through your psoas muscle, through your hip flexor. Couple of deep breaths here. And then as you inhale, come back through to the center. Release your hands back to the inside of your right foot. Wriggle your right foot all the way to the edge of the mat so your heel is on and your toes are off. Lizard lunge for those of you that know it. Try and keep your knee aligned on top of your ankle and let your right thigh roll away from you. Take a big breath in and reach your right arm up high to the sky. And then as you exhale, try and get your right elbow to kiss to the inside of your right ankle. And then as you inhale, reach the arm up high, spin the chest open. So take a little twist. As you exhale, bring the elbow down, press the floor with the elbow. Bring the arm up, so keep breathing with it as you start to move, maybe bigger, more dramatic opening motion. Every time you lift the arm, maybe you're twisting a little bit further as you rotate the spine and start to wake up the muscles there. The next time you bring the hand to the floor, flatten your right foot, tuck your back toes and see if you can sweep the right leg all the way up. And then give the leg a little bit of a shake. Shake, 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 shake. And then bring the right foot down. Inhale, bring the left leg to the sky, and then as you start to hold it up here, rotate the ankle one way a few times, moving in circles. And then go back the other way. Maybe there's some clicks and some cracks that you need to get rid of here. Making up the toes and the foot. And then start to step the left foot straight through between the thumbs. Lower your back knee down to the floor and tucking your back toes. Sweep the arms up to the sky. Tuck your tailbone as well as letting it be heavy. Pelvis towards the floor. And take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand, draw up to the sky and lean to the left, so the right side of the waist, shoulders, heart space, hips. Get a lovely big stretch. Spend a couple more breaths here. You can breathe however you like to. Big deep belly breaths, maybe through the mouth, the nose. And then when you next breathe in, bring your hands up to the center and down to the inside of your left foot. Wriggle the left foot all the way to the edge of the mat, toes off, heel slightly on. And allow the thigh to roll out to the side. As you do, take an inhale and sweep your left arm up high. As you exhale, bring the left elbow down to the inner left leg or down to the ankle. And then inhale to spiral it up to the sky. And you're just going to move like this a few rounds. So finding those movements, getting more and more dramatic as you spiral the chest and heart open. Feeling like you get more of a twist in the body every time you're lifting, every time you're opening. You're going to take one more movement, and then when the left arm comes back down, tuck the back toes, sweeping the left leg all the way up and back. Give it a good shake, 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 shake. And then lower the left foot down to the floor. Look to the thumbs. Bend your knees loads and just see if you can take a little spring forward, so just waking up the body, so you can take a little hop and land the feet down underneath your hips. As you inhale, soften your knees and sweep your arms wide, come up onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, scoop all the way back down. Inhale, sweep up wide, up onto your tippy toes. Exhale, scoop it back down. Inhale, sweep up wide, tippy toes if it feels good. Exhale, come down. And then as you inhale next, step it straight back into your downward facing dog. Heels are heavy. Again, chest comes back towards thighs. Start to lower down onto your knees. And then staying with the heart space opening, slide your hands to the top corners of the mat. Untuck your toes and try and keep your hips directly above your knees. As you drop your chest and your chin down to the earth, kind of imagining this big paper weight down in the center of your sternum, drawing you like a magnet to your mat or to the earth beneath you. You can let your chin stay on the mat or your cheek. And taking a couple more deep breaths in and out. And then slowly from here, you're going to slide forwards onto your belly and keeping your forearms down if you can, wriggle your elbows in so they stack underneath your shoulders roughly. Palms down to the floor, coming into Sphinx pose, a lovely stretch through the back. Let your shoulders sink down and away from the ears and stay here if that feels good, or pressing into your palms, lift your forearms and elbows, finding seal. And just notice, if that doesn't feel good, you can always lower back down onto the elbows. You don't have to stay up in seal pose. One more deep breath in. One more long exhale out. And then slowly lowering your body down to the floor. Slide your left arm out to the side. So you want a straight line through wrist, elbow and shoulder. And your right hand is next to your right shoulder here. Elbows pointing up to the sky. Bend your right knee. And then from here, press into your right hand and roll over to your left side. Let your right foot come down to the earth. Maybe if it doesn't quite reach all the way over the top, you could rest it on top of the left. Keep your left leg straight. And this is a really deep stretch for the front of the left shoulder, through the chest as well. So if you've been sat at a desk for ages, typing away, and you've found that your shoulders have become really forward rounded, your posture's started to become kind of like that curly cashew nut spine I often talk about, this is a really lovely remedy for that. And you can stay here for as long as you want to. You can come back into it by the end of the practice if you want to as well. As you breathe in next, slowly roll onto your belly. And as you come onto your belly, gently slide your right arm out away from you. The same line, so straight line through elbow, wrist and shoulder. Left hand supports underneath your left shoulder and press into your hand to roll up and over, bringing your left foot flat to the earth if you can. Again, if it doesn't work, you can stack your left leg on top of your right. And observe here as well if it feels different on one side to the other. Maybe you've got a more predominant arm or hand. Maybe one shoulder works a little bit harder or comes forward slightly more, so just notice. I also like the fact that you get like a massage in the front of your shoulder with this one. It's like a 2-for-1 yoga pose, massage and stretch. The best kind of yoga poses. And your next breath in, roll back onto your belly. And slide your right hand in under your shoulder. Press into your hands, up and back into downward facing dog. And then from here, look to the thumbs, bend your knees low and then go for it. Take a little spring forwards. Take a moment to sway, walking the hands around the feet one way, walking the hands around the feet the other way. Do that a couple of times, stretching out through the lower back, the backs of the legs, twisting gently through the lower spine. And the next time the hands come back through to the center, soften the knees as you inhale, sweep the arms up high, tippy toes if you like to, as you exhale, fold, sweep them down. Inhale up high, as you exhale, fold. One more time, sweep the arms up high, reach as tall as you can, and as you exhale, fold, fold, and hang and dangle here. When you're ready to inhale to look up, and then gently start to wriggle the feet out as wide as you can. Turn the toes out, heels in, and come to sit all the way down into your squat, into your malasana. Hands together in prayer, thumbs pushed to the center of the chest. And just tuck your tailbone under as you lift through the heart space, shoulders stacking over hips here. Take another deep, full breath in. And another deep breath out. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone. Use your hands to support you if you'd like to. And just come to sit. Bring the soles of the feet together. Hands connect to feet now as we just gently start to stir the pot with our upper body, moving around and around all the way. letting the lower back, the pelvis, the inner thigh take a moment. And then just pausing and going back the other way, feeling that lovely kind of stickiness in the lower back ease off as you move a little bit more. And then coming to find stillness. Sliding your ankles in close to the body, one in front of the other. Close your eyes, and the hands together. Go into the rest of your day, the rest of your working day or evening, with calm, freedom in the body, smiling all the way through. Thumbs to the forehead, third eye centre. We're still on short practice with a vow of love, honour, and respect. Remembering we're all connected, we are one. Namaste.